was going to expose. I came in this business saying I was going to expose.
Them superpowers get neutralized like a homely watching silence. The front artist we once knew was looking paranoid and now spiraling. You're moving just like a degenerate, having antic is feeling distasteful. I calculate you, not as calculated. How can they predict your angle? Fabricate stories on the family front, cause you heard Mr. Morale, a pathetic master manipulator. I can smell the lines on you now. You're not a rap artist, you're a scam artist with the hopes of being accepted. Tommy Hilfiger stood out, but FUBU never had been a collection. I make music that electrify, you make music that pacify. I could double down on that line, but spray this time. Random acts of kindness. Know you're a master manipulator and habitual liar too. But don't tell no lie about me, and I'm gonna tell the truth about you.
On the labels, on private prisons.
But they didn't make you write those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't.
It's not just Diddy, it's like BlackRock and Vanguard. They actually own the music industry and control the music.
Wait. The investment houses of BlackRock and Vanguard, they own the music industry?
Absolutely. From Sony Music Group to they're the most invested in the music industry. They're the most through Viacom. They own BET, MTV, VH1. They're in control.
They not like us. You're 100% right. He's not like you. He's royalty. So to my boy Drake, I hope this reaches you. Remember, they are telling you very clearly, you are not like them. You are a Jewish man. Be proud, be loud, and stand up and be counted for who you truly are.
And your homeboy needs subpoena. They're predator moving flocks. Their name gotta be registered and placed on neighborhood watch. I lean on you niggas like another line. No, yeah, it's all lies on me and I'm sending us up. Hey, put the wrong label on me, I might get them. Sweet chin music and I won't pass up. How many shots do I really have a shot? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus. Hickey ass never did a free app. Hickey ass niggas need to steady ass it. Yeah.
Peace to the family. Peace to you and yours. Peace to you and yours. Peace to you and yours. Let me know how we sounding on the audio. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Let me know how we sounding on the audio. You know what I'm talking about? Because tonight we are going to, today we're going to have a fire presentation, a wonderful show. We are in the building. Sacrilegious Sundays is up. Yeah, and it's stuck. We talking our shit. This is a disclaimer for anybody that you think that this might be a sermon on a Sunday. This is Sacrilegious Sundays, and we finna be sacrilegious today. This is not for the Namaste tree huggins or whatnot. This ain't that. This is Sacrilegious Sundays, where we turn up in the name of sacrilegion. Okay, and we're gonna have a few things that we're going to talk about. We're going to do the official recap of the Kendrick concert because I've been sitting back, watching, listening to all of the recaps, and I feel that I have one to offer from my perspective. So we're going to do that. Then we're also going to have a conversation about the video shoot that took place yesterday in Compton. You know what I'm talking about? And we're also going to have a conversation about what does this mean going into the red summer. Summer has began, It started off with a bang. The shit is up and is lit, and we're going to do a little bit of we're going to highlight and we're going to point out some things that I see that is on the horizon for the remainder of the next quote unquote 6 months. That's what this new lecture that we're doing coming up on the 30th is about. Jason, July, August, September, October, November. It's a lot going on, and we got to talk about it. We got to be properly prepared. I'm not going into the Jason months blind. I'm not going into the Jason months blindfolded. I'm not going into the Jason months just trying to say, I'm going to just go with the flow. Whatever happens, happens. No, I'm going into the Jason months with information. I'm going into the Jason months informed. I'm going into the Jason months with some goddamn instructions. Okay? Because if there's one thing that I've been seeing is that Black people, not only do they don't have instructions, but y'all hate instructions. Y'all, it's like garlic to Black people, certain Black people for that matter. Garlic. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? It's kryptonite. Direction, taking direction and being disciplined. It's like garlic to these niggas. Yeah, we're going to talk about Fulio getting his shit pushed back. We will talk about Fulio getting murdered in Florida. Okay. Sacrilegious Sundays. Once again, like I said, for anybody that may be tapping in, I'm giving you the disclaimer before we begin. It is a Sunday. You might just came from church. You might just still got your high bottoms on and them high waters and whatnot. You might just have come from church. This is not that. This ain't church. So just get yourself prepared. Okay. Because we're going to be talking today. Let's start it out with this situation coming out of Florida right now. Fulio, the rapper, gets killed on his 26th birthday. To say that we didn't see this one coming is to be dishonest about what it is that we be seeing, right? I don't say this in any type of, there's, I don't say this in no type of joy, because anytime that we lose one of ours, right? Anytime that one of ours is taken, it's a loss, right? It's a loss. It's definitely a loss whenever one of the young rappers, right, who are out here, engaging in quote unquote gang violence or warfare for that matter. Let's put the music on. Well, this artist in particular was involved in an open war. In war, there's casualties. And I've been watching the boy Fulio move around, and he's been dodging death for many, many, many years. He got murdered at the Holiday Inn, celebrating his 26th birthday. They said it was an ambush. About 2 months ago, there was an attempt on his life, and he showed an injury that he sustained as a result of a shooting that he survived, and it clapped him in his foot. Now, I come from the days where, people had a little bit of they had people were involved in gunfights and whatnot. I know a few people that got shot a few times, but the shit that they shooting these days ain't the shit that they were shooting back in my days. This man showed his foot, and half of that, the hole that he had in his foot, literally you could fit a golf ball or a tennis ball through it. He got hit with one of those Call of Duty guns. You feel me? He's famously known for disrespecting the dead. He has videos online where he's in a graveyard, I believe, and they have a music video and they're desecrating the memory of one of their ops. I don't co-sign shit like that. What I do co-sign and what I do understand and what we'll talk about today as we explore the implications of gang unity, you feel me? And, you know, gang warfare. And what does it mean when Kendrick brings these street organizations together, right? Like, not only what are the implications on what it means to slow down this carnage that we're seeing. You feel me? To slow down the carnage, because the carnage is, you know, it's more carnage in this hip hop community / drill culture than we have seen anywhere else. Like, the only thing this second to that is like the wars overseas. But these rappers are really at war with each other. There's really warfare taking place. And yeah, his name was Fulio. And he was with the foolishness, you know what I'm saying? You know, we've covered many different cases and whatnot. We've covered many different cases where we've been highlighting the cause and effects of a lot of people, you know, still moving with that energy and still pushing that narrative and still towing that line. They just buried a brother in Chicago named Little Jeff, and on his funeral procession, right, on his obituary, right, they called him the Reaper. Okay, on his funeral eulogy, the shit said the Reaper. So this is a lifestyle. This is not just some, you know how back in the days when the rappers used to rap, you know, you had like Biggie Smalls, for an example. Let's just use Big Papa, Biggie Smalls. His mother was not familiar with the shit that he was rapping about. She didn't know half of it. She didn't even really know he was a rapper. Like, when we were coming up, our parents were vehemently opposed to hip hop and rap music. It's not the same these days because Fulio's parents he was born into hip hop and he listened to all kind of music. He was exposed to whatever his parents were exposed to. Our generation, we were not exposed. Our parents were not listening to gangster music. They were not listening to quote unquote gang banging music, unless you may have been on the West Coast in Los Angeles, where this is a way of life. When I went to see Nipsey Hussle get buried, and it was actually considered to be an ascension protocol. It was a coronation. It was not a funeral. We were in the Staples Center. It was not a funeral. It was a coronation. It was an ascension protocol. The only people that can have ascension protocols are messiahs. Okay, niggas get buried. Messiahs have concessions and they have ascension protocols. There's a big difference. Okay, that's why LA or Los Angeles or the West, for that matter, was in such a bad shape. And that's why this Kendrick Lamar demonstration is such an important day in hip hop, because nobody picked up where Nipsey left off. Nobody. There was nobody who came along in LA, in Los Angeles, where gang culture is life. When I went to the Staples Center, I saw grandmothers gang banging. I saw the babies in the carriage blued up. They was tied up. They had them little niggas bandanaed up in a stroller. I saw 4 generations of gang members that day, and I understood more so that this is their culture, this is their way of life, this is what they live and die for, right? And I'm not here to say what's right or wrong, because I'm not the right or wrong police, nigga. That's not what I'm here for. I used to be in a crew, I used to be in a posse, I never joined a gang, but I understand where that shit stems from. I come from Flatbush, Brooklyn. I come from a hood. And now they all ganged up and they gang banging in New York and whatnot. And it is what it is. I was on Rikers Island when the gang shit took over. And there was a war against the Latin Kings and the Nietas. So I understand why it formed. I was there in 1993 and I was there in 1997. I saw the beginning of gang culture in New York. And I was in the quote unquote underworld. I was in the underworld. I wasn't on the internet. So I understand why it formed and whatnot. It was literally a civil war taking place behind the wall and whatnot. And them Puerto Rican niggas was out there stabbing and slicing and cutting and doing, you know, and doing black people dirty. So them niggas formed a gang and they start banging on them and they ain't stopped since. So to see the demonstrations that I'm seeing and understanding how ingrained in West Coast society and way of life this gang shit is, what can I do but report on it? What can I do but to bring a perspective that people may be able to see it from a different perspective? Because when you think about it, what standing army do black people have? Like, let's just say that Donald Trump, you know, gets arrested on July 7/11, right? If they send him to jail and whatnot, and they decide to throw him in jail, they decide to do it, and then the White Walkers revolt. Feel me? What if the White Walkers revolt and decide that they want to go ahead and start, you know, tearing shit up on some Civil War type shit? Who do we have to depend on that will protect us as a quote unquote standing army? And I will not say it's the gangs. Don't get it fucked up. It is not the gangs as they exist today. They will not be protectorates of our people. They more so will turn into the rebel groups that we see in Africa, who are basically, you know, for hire mercenaries. They will become mercenaries, right? They will not do what the Black Panthers would have done. They will not do what the quote unquote Black Guerrilla Family, if anybody is familiar with Black Guerrilla Family, those are a segment of black warriors that get busy for the people. They mostly exist in the prisons and whatnot, but those are the ones fighting the Mexican gangs, the Aryan Nation, all of these quote unquote racist organizations that run shit behind the wall and whatnot. BGF, not BMF, BGF, Black Guerrilla Family, the people who was breaking their comrades out of jail. Okay, we got Jeff Fort, the El Rukins and all of them. We got some solid people who are really standing on business, but they not on your timeline, fam. You can't follow these niggas like that. You know what I mean? They're not for your enjoyment and your pleasure and your entertainment like some of these online goofies are. These are real people that do real things, and it's not for the internet, and it's really not for people who are not in that life to understand, because I can't discuss warfare with a civilian. It's impossible. I can't express myself in a way that I really want to express myself to people who are, you know, making they listening to me making papaya smoothies and whatnot. You know, we're just on different pages. We don't have the same type of perspective or the same type of outlook on how real life is and how real it could get in a drop of a dime. Some people are comfortably tucked away. Some people are set up where they don't have to worry about none of these things. And then other people are living amongst the quote unquote, they're in the asylum where the inmates have taken over. Some people walk outside of their house and it's warfare all around them. And I'm not here to shame nobody. I'm just here to give you some information on what it is that I see from throughout, through my eyes. So the fact that the young brother Fulio, getting back to him, right? This young rapper out of Florida, he got murdered on his birthday, and he was a top op. He had a lot of enemies, right? And he would brag about, getting away from the attempts on his life. He even said that he had some voodoo working on his side. You feel me? Because I do believe he's Haitian and whatnot. But what I do know from my travels is that places like Tampa, Duval, Orlando, Baton Rouge, these places have become killing fields. These places have become traps. These places have become, quote unquote, unlivable, right? Our people are underneath the terrorism of these gangs. And you don't even know, at the end of the day, you can't separate the gangs from the sets. You don't know none of the, you know what I mean? It's hard to disseminate, to separate the two. So even if somebody talks favorably about gangs coming together and unifying and whatnot, it's looked and frowned upon by civilians because they like, nah, send them all to the death chair, send them all to death row. They all need to die. And I understand the sentiments that some people may have because they just see this way of life as a cancer. You understand? They just see these rappers as cancer. They see these drill rappers as a cancer. They see these gangbangers as a cancer. And this cancer has permeated our culture to the point where it's almost impossible to separate at this point. Why? Because let me share something with you. In order to separate them, you would have to separate the children because the children's grown up on this shit. The children have grown up on this violence. They've grown up on this lifestyle. They've grown up on this way of life. They're growing up where their favorite rappers are being murdered daily. Okay? They're growing up knowing that, you know what, I like this person, they lit and whatnot, but they have a 75% chance of being bodied. We didn't come up like that in hip hop. We didn't have that type. We thought that the rappers might get arrested here and there, but we wasn't preparing for them to die like that. That's why when Biggie got murdered and when Pac got assassinated, when both of them got assassinated, it was like a traumatic experience for the young hip hop fans who was simply just enjoying the music and living vicariously through our favorite artists. We didn't know that niggas could really get killed like that. We didn't know that was a possibility. For some of us who lost our close friends during these times and whatnot, when we were teenagers and whatnot, and we still suffer from PTSD, we didn't know that there was that was even real like that. We didn't know that it was really real like that. We didn't know that some of our friends, we would never see them again. Nobody prepared us for that. You know what I'm talking about? We were used to playing video games where you had multiple lives as long as you had quarters and whatnot. We didn't know that there was finalities, this shit was final. We didn't have the older generation console us. They did not heal us. They did not console us. They did not address our PTSD. I'm gonna just put it out there. They did not do that. We did not get therapy, bro. And the we that I'm speaking of is the 80s babies, the 70s babies. We didn't get none of that shit, bro. We just had to tuck that shit away and keep it pushing and whatnot. But it's real. And we gave birth to children, and then those children is giving birth to children. So when you talk about breaking a generational curse, and when you talk about it's a vicious cycle, yes, it is. Yes, it is. So if I were to just be on my fucking high horse and act all pompous and bad and bougie and whatnot, and ignore shit like this that's still happening in the hood, then I couldn't qualify as being a leader. I couldn't qualify as being a teacher. I couldn't qualify as being an elder in my community. What the fuck? I'm not better than this shit. I'm here to explore. I'm here to educate. I'm here to learn what is it that we can do to stop the carnage. What is it that we can do to save the lights? What is it that we could do to stare because we got star seeds that are attracted to this hip hop shit. We got some good children. We have some positive women and men. We have some professionals. You know, you got doctors, judges, lawyers. They all listening to this shit. Some of this is their favorite pastime. They don't know no better. They don't have no options. They caught up in this culture the same way that we caught up in it. Don't be confused and don't get it fucked up. Okay? Don't get it fucked up. You know, a lot of people is into this toxicity right here. A lot of them. So to see what Kendrick Lamar is attempting to do, he's not my savior. He's not your savior. Literally, he's an artist, right? But don't belittle the fucking rapper, because the rapper runs shit. You might not be a rapper, and you be like, what is he talking about? I promise you, the rappers have more power than the politicians in these days and ages that we live in. I didn't make it that way. But when you look at the Masonic charts, music is number 2. There's something about the word over the instrumental and that frequency that is making these men appear to be gods on earth. We just did the series called American Gods. Right before we doing quote unquote When in Rome. And then after When in Rome, I'm doing Fear of a Blackamoor Messiah. You know what I'm talking about? So in American Gods, we were breaking it down and explaining and showing you word for word, fact for fact, how these modern day hip hoppers are considered to be like gods on the planet. For my people on Instagram right now, comment the word Sunday. If you wind up getting a ticket for When in Rome, we're going to throw free. As a purchase, we'll throw it in free. You'll get American Gods. When you get the When in Rome ticket, you're going to get the American Gods 8. We just did that in the month of May. It's fire. You know, I'm talking about the information. It's about 6 hours long, me and Blue Pill. And yeah, you need that. You know what I'm talking about? Because if you're going to be in class, then you're going to need your textbooks. And your textbooks these days are these lectures, which are nothing like these YouTube shows. They're nothing like these YouTube shows. They go into a whole nother level of information that I can't even talk about on YouTube, because YouTube, I could only use this for commercial purposes, and Instagram as well, because I'm heavily censored. They listen to the words that I say. That not only do they listen to the words that I say, they listen to the words that I say, and then they penalize me. As a result of that, I'll get my video blocked in certain countries. You know what I'm talking about? Sometimes they'll remove a video. I might, you know what I mean? Like they not playing with their level of censorship. They're trying to muffle us. They're trying to put a muzzle on anybody speaking truth, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Anybody speaking truth, they trying to muzzle them. And you know why? We don't have to ask why. We know why. We know why. So comment Sunday and you'll get your DM link and whatnot. And, you know, I look forward to seeing each and every one of y'all in the building on the 30th, which is next Sunday. Okay. Rich, I'm gonna hit you back. I'm on my show right now. So next Sunday, She Is So Lovely. You already bought your ticket. Can you still get the deal? Yes. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I will take care of you as well. I don't want nobody to feel left out. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want Nobody to feel left out. So let's go back to this whole situation with K Dot and whatnot. And I would love to show you the footage of the concert, but you don't need me to show it. You've seen it all over the internet. You don't need me to show you his concert unless you really been, you know, like off grid, off, like for real off grid. You know what I mean? But he showed up at the forum. He put on a clinic. Okay. He put on a master class on the most important thing in hip hop today. Notice I didn't say rap music. I said hip hop. And the most important thing in hip hop is the performance. The radio is dead. The music video is dead. Okay. The radio is dead. The mixtape is dead. The only thing that's keeping hip hop alive is the tour. Okay? The only thing keeping hip hop alive is the tour. Desiree, did I kill him? Who killed Nip? Let me know. The only thing keeping hip hop alive is the performance, which is the tour. You feel me? So Kendrick showed any artist that was watching, I don't care what type of genre you're in. You could be into country. You could be down with Shabuzi in them. You could be into R&B. You know what I'm talking about? You could be on your sexy shit. DJ Epps, what up, my guy? The legend. Yes, and Rock the Bells, Rolling Loud. These stage shows, these big shows are the only thing keeping hip hop alive and functioning at a higher heights. It's the only thing that is going to turn an independent artist or a quote unquote major artist into a more major artist. It is the only thing that's going to get you millions upon millions of dollars outside of the quote unquote millions and millions of dollars outside of doing endorsements and outside of doing sponsorships and whatnot. It is your performance. So Kendrick Duckworth Lamar put on a master class on how to perform, not on your tracks, but on the TV tracks, which is only your ad libs and the hook. If anybody says that they want to help hip hop, if anybody says that they want to save hip hop, if anybody says that they want to keep hip hop alive for another 50 years, you will drop everything that you're doing and you will either sign up your rapper friends to a motherfucking masterclass on how to perform. Either you'll help them out, you will pay for them, you'll get them their ticket, you will take them to a fucking a studio where they practicing in front of mirrors and whatnot. You would help your favorite artists perfect their performance, because truth be told, that is the only thing that you have going for you right now. Do you know what MC stands for? Master of ceremony. You have to be a master of the ceremony. All of that coming on stage and just standing around, no, that shit don't work anymore. That ended the day Dipset got bodied in the verses by the Locks, who were not rapping over their fucking songs and whatnot. And they were telling you, they were showing you how to do it the real way, because that's hip hop and everything else is rap. So even when it comes to those West Coast artists that came out with DJ Head before Kendrick, all of them need, instead, I mean, the unification, once everything gets settled and the paperwork gets signed and the gangs come together, Kendrick Lamar needs to do Saturday classes where he teaches every single one, right? When he teaches every single one of those artists on how to perfect their stage show, because that's what's going to make you a legend. Nothing else at this point. That is what's going to make you a legend. Outside, of course, outside of the real shit that you may be doing in your community by using what? By using your power to be more powerful. He is using his power, his prestige, and his presence to do what nobody did since Nipsey died. Please understand what I'm saying. I was in LA when Nipsey had his coronation. I was in LA when they did when he was at the State Farm Arena, and I was there for about a week after. I felt the energy in LA. I felt the unity in LA. I heard the promises that these gangbangers made to each other when I was in LA. We was right there. They did not hold their fucking promises. And then the weirdo nigga Whack 100 and the other niggas started throwing salt on Nipsey's names, and they disrespected and they disrupted the process, and they acting like they bigger than the program, and they derailed the peace process because, of course, if Nipsey is not there to hold nobody accountable, then these niggas can't count. We was with Nipsey's mama. Okay. And I'm not about to get on YouTube and start talking about the conversations that we was having and what was promised and all of that. It was a lot of closed door stuff that was not on the camera. But I'm here to let you know that the movement that Nipsey was building up was the most important movement in all of hip hop. You cannot point me to anyone else or anything else or nothing that was fucking what Nip was doing in LA. You cannot. And I'm not trying to throw nobody under the bus or try to put Nipsey in the front of the line, but he was in the front of the line. You understand? You will only realize the importance of the next man when you remove them. That's one of the laws of power where they say, yo, to see how influential you are in any situation, then remove yourself. Then remove yourself from that situation. And if that shit falls apart, and if if it's not popping, then you know that you was the one that had that shit popping. You know that you was the battery that was charging that thing the whole time. You know your importance by removing yourself. So when they removed him, then they realized, damn, he was the one holding the whole West Coast together. He was the one that was breathing that quote unquote life into these knuckle draggers and whatnot in order to stand up. In order to stand up. In order to quote unquote be men again. In order to be assets in their community. Because what was Nipsey doing? He was teaching them about cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, smart contracts, amongst many other things. He was an enlightener. And if Nipsey was alive, he was teaching them about Dr. Sebi and their health. How many men died? How many women died because that goddamn documentary did not come out? How many people died? Because Nick Cannon and his whole ass got scared and whatnot. And he got scared and whatnot, and he didn't do what he said that he was gonna do. I don't know that nigga, but he told me to my face, yo, I'm gonna put this out. We're gonna do this for Nipsey. And then we was like, all right, cool, we're gonna help out. We're gonna give you information. We were the first group of people that he interviewed. Only to turn around and see that this nigga's making a whole fucking documentary about himself. So Nip was the one who was supposed to do what didn't get done. You understand? He was the Messiah. He was the Messiah. And when they took him, they put the West Coast they put him in a frozen state of affairs. They pushed them back. They backtracked them. They threw them back into turmoil and chaos and whatnot. You understand? And you don't know what the future was gonna hold. You don't know what could have happened because we know what didn't happen. And what didn't happen is nobody stepped forward after Nipsey's assassination to say, you know what? I got this. I'm gonna wear this. I'm gonna put this on my shoulders and whatnot. Even if them feds come and get me, even if they run down on me, even if they pay somebody to kill me, because that's what they do. Yeah, how the fuck did No Jumper take over after Nipsey died. Shame on you niggas in LA. Y'all let No Jumper take off. Y'all let No Jumper take off. Y'all let Adam 22 run LA after Nipsey's ascension. Come on, fam. Astaghfirullah. Y'all let Whack 100 take over via Clubhouse. That's what y'all doing. So, you know, it's the karma. That's karma. His brother Sam probably didn't even feel protected. You know what I'm talking about? His whole team couldn't even come outside like that. So I'm just saying, the first person to come along almost 6 years later. What? 5 years later? Right? 5 years later. The one who comes along and says, fuck it. It's time. Because timing is everything. The timing of this attack, the timing of this beef, the timing of this body and whatnot. It was all perfect timing. I wouldn't have wanted to see it any other time but the now. You understand? Cat Williams effect. I wouldn't wanted to see this K, the K, you know what I mean? The K, right? The 11th letter. I wouldn't want to see that demonstration no other time but right now. And he demonstrated, and he showed you. And he put on, he didn't put on for a city, because let me share some. He put on for more than his city. This is not a Bloods and the Crips and the LA thing. This is a hip hop versus rap. In the 50th year of fucking hip hop, we're still in the 50, y'all. We still in the 50, y'all. It turns into 51 years of hip hop on August the 11th, I believe, the day that Black Magic 363 is having the meeting of the masters in Atlanta, Georgia, at the New Black Wall Street. That same day is when hip hop turns 51, but it's still 50 right now. So while it was in its 50th, it got cleaned up. It got clinically cleaned up because it had to get cleaned up. You feel me? It had to get cleaned up. It had to get cleaned up. And the perfect person to do the cleanup job is the man that you looking on the flyer right here. Once again, we don't worship no rapper. We don't put nobody on no pedestals and whatnot. But what we do is we keep it 1,000. We keep it 100, and we speak on the truth. We not no haters. We not salty. We not no gatekeepers. We gonna give you the information the way that the information is given. Let me take you to this clip right now, so it's not just Red Pill saying it, because y'all might think that I'm biased because I'm quote unquote righteous. But nah, that's not the case. You know what I'm talking about? I'm a reporter. I'm a journalist. I'm trying to be as non-biased as possible and just give y'all the truth without hurting your feelings and whatnot. Because so many people are so invested in these quote unquote artists, you know what I mean? That they're living in cognitive dissonance. They refuse to see the truth or even to accept it. They rather be in their feelings. They rather be in their feels before say, you know what? This is not just Kendrick winning a battle. This is the shift in hip hop that hip hop has needed. This is the ending of a fucking era. That nigga's era is done. His shit is done, bro. And you can't save it. And y'all done, if you with him, you're done with him
for
too.
the culture.
For the culture.
The culture.
The culture.
Cultural moment within LA.
Him being unapologetically black because I'm a part of the culture. It felt like I was obligated.
You know, sharing the culture.
It's only right we come out and support and show love the same way, because we for the culture.
Black American folks need to be celebrated and respected for what they contribute to music, culture, all of it.
Fully black excellence. I don't know if y'all heard, like, To Pimp a Butterfly, Good Kid, Mad City, Section 80, Overly Dedicated, C4.
He embodies embodies Black excellence.
Black excellence.
Black excellence.
Now I feel like I'm a part of history.
It's like a history moment.
Had to pop out and show people.
There's nobody better to celebrate it with than Ken.
Put out a clarion call.
He made the call.
He's always spoken about Black people and Black pride.
And him being a successful Black man embodies Juneteenth.
Kendrick is the essence of Juneteenth, which is freedom. Freedom of speech, freedom to do what you want to do, freedom to do what you have to do.
Lifts you up, inspires you. I think that's exactly what our ancestors would have wanted at this point in time.
His songs say they're not like us. We special. We are special people.
To have a show on Juneteenth, that song being more or less a song of the summer, right? Like, they not like us. People gonna be here on Juneteenth. Black folk gonna be here on Juneteenth saying they not like us, exclaiming that, you know, people can't just be coming in here, dipping in and taking from the culture. I feel like that might be a really, really good way to celebrate today.
Everything that she said.
And I can't wait to tell my kids, wop.
Look around. It's full of communities, full of love.
He speaks for Black people. We're not a monolith, but as a people, we are one.
Kendrick Lamar's music allows you to feel what it means to be Black. It's heavy, it's painful, it's happy, it's sad, but more than anything, it's authentic and it's truthful, and that's what Juneteenth is about.
Don't nobody do it better.
He does it for everyone, man. Not just for us, but for everyone. That's why they not like us.
They not like us.
Ain't wrong.
Why did I choose to celebrate Juneteenth with Kendrick and friends?
Why not spend it with Kendrick? Bro, we Black. He's a proud Black man. Everything he do is for the culture.
For the culture.
The culture.
The culture. Cultural moment within LA.
Him being unapologetically Black because I'm a part of the culture. It felt like I was obligated.
You know, sharing the culture.
It's only right we come out and support and show love the same way because we for the culture.
Black American folks need to be celebrated and respected for what they contribute to music, culture, all of it.
Fully Black excellence. I don't know if y'all heard, like, To Pimp a Butterfly, Good Kid, Mad City, Section 80, Overly Dedicated, C4.
He embodies Black excellence.
Black excellence.
This show, ladies and gentlemen, is sponsored by the latest drip. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we got it all. You know what I'm talking about? Star Status store at the new Black Wall Street. And you could also get it if you don't live in Atlanta at the mart125th.com. Okay. No, matter of fact, the mart125.com. All right. So definitely check these shirts out. This is our sponsor for tonight's show. Okay. And we got that drip. You know what I mean? We definitely got that drip. We've been killing it at the Juneteenth in Atlanta outside. We're going to be there today, later on. So definitely go ahead and get your Kendrick shirts. Support this channel. This is some of our merch. Okay. The They Not Like Us. We also have Kung Fu Kenny. Okay. This is a cultural moment. This is about don't rap against Kendrick ever. This is a cultural moment. This is time to collect. This is something that I wear very proudly on my chest while I walk around Atlanta and the world. This is my airport uniform. I need white folks to see me. Okay. I need them people to see me. You know what I mean? Because they taking this shit personal and I'm loving it. And I mean, I'm loving it. So we have to, you know, so many people are so cool in this community and they're like, you know, beloved, there's other things that we need to focus on, like, you know, where are we going to, you know, get our GMO and our non-GMO seeded watermelons from and stuff like that. And I'm like, cool, you can't chew bubble gum and walk. You can't just chew bubble gum and walk. You know what I'm talking about? Like, is that impossible? You can't multitask. You know what I'm talking about? You can't multitask. Don't make what you're doing more important than whatever somebody else is doing. You feel me? You, as a result of seeing the gangs unify, right? This should be a moment for conscious people who are not unified. Just to see the gangs who got beef with each other, right? Just to see the gangs who got beef, who got murder beef with each other. Just to see the gangs who have generational drama get together and tie their flags on that stage, right? Just to see that. Okay? But then when you deal with consciousness, right? Everybody is online dissing each other. Nobody is getting along. Nobody is coming together. They're utilizing this fake ass imaginary beef that they have with each other to not do the work, right? But to see the gangs come together. So if that's the case, how the gangs coming together and you niggas is not, all of you fake vegan niggas this running around hijacking what Sabi is talking about or hating on Sabi, how you niggas not coming together? How is all of you fake ass my religion is better than yours, or my this is better than yours, right? But how is all of this, oh, my school is better than your school and stuff like that? How? I'm wondering why don't they have the same type of love for each other, or why don't they see the need to come together, but the gangs do? The gangs do? These people shed blood against each other. They got real beef. It's generational. Grandfathers was, you know what I mean? You got cousins beefing with each other, bro. You got cousins beefing with each other, but anytime I watch a Umar Johnson video, he's throwing the conscious community under the bus. He's talking, I seen a video, a podcast where he said he can't name 3 people in 3 teachers in the community that care about their community. I'll give him 3, my nigga. Mama Pill, she cured AIDS and you didn't. She's saving lives, my nigga. Why you disrespecting my people, bro? KT the Arts Degree, he's out here saving lives daily. Red and fucking Blue Pill, we out here saving lives. I ain't no goofy nigga. Anywhere that I go, my people hold me up. You know what I'm talking about? And they know what the fuck we do. So I'm perturbed by the fact that somebody who got a platform like that will get up there and try to throw the teachers under the bus. Like that's crazy to me. You know what I'm talking about? You don't even acknowledge A.A. Rashid, and that's the person that helped put you on, fam. This shit is crazy. You don't know 3 people that you can name that's out here helping the people. All right, what about Rizza Islam? What about all of the Nation of Islam? You mean to tell me they don't love their people? What the fuck? So I don't, and then you speak to other channels. All of these other channels is trying to throw other people. Like, what are you talking about? There's no unity. There's nobody talking about, yo, you know what? This summer we're gonna come together and we're gonna build something. I got my brother Supreme out here in Atlanta. He got land. He got land where people are actually, he has acres of land to develop. Why is people not unifying around that? Why are people not saying, yo, this is the most important thing right now? Because with this election coming up, we don't know what the fuck is about to happen. We don't know where this thing is about to go. We don't know what the future holds. You don't hear nobody talking like that. There was a woman that got stabbed up in Atlanta. The woman, the owner of Wadada, she got stabbed 17 times in front of her children. You don't hear nobody in this community talking about, yo, we got to find a person to try to kill her in front of her children. Where the fuck is you niggas at for that? So when these teachers come into town, y'all just go and kiss the rings. Y'all go and you know, y'all just go and puff up niggas' egos, but don't nobody ask no questions. Don't nobody say, you know what? Our people need security. These women need some goddamn justice. Nobody. So how's people trying to talk down on people that are out here putting their life on the line? Yes, he came up on our show. He came up on Know the Ledge. And this is the thanks that we get. This shit crazy. But the gangbangers are coming together, tying their rags and whatnot. The gangbangers is out there shooting videos together. The gangbangers have the audacity to be like, yo, we're going to just put our shits to the quote unquote, we're going to put all of our troubles behind us. Right? And we're going to move forward. You feel me? We're going to put all of this shit behind us and we're going to move forward. I don't see that. I don't hear that. And even when it comes to holding people accountable that are in the community, you niggas still are not showing up to do that type of work. You don't even want to you don't even want to put no penalty systems together. Because in order for any community to function, you need three things. And I said it before and I'm going to say it again. You need a reward system. For the people who are out here doing the work, they got to be rewarded. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Every other community has a reward system. If the children and if people don't see their people being rewarded, if they don't see nobody being rewarded, they're not going to quote unquote, they are not going to, they're not going to do nothing. They're going to be like, why would I put my life on the line if I don't see nobody being rewarded for putting their life on the line? You feel me? Why? All they see is the leaders get murdered. They see people put their life on their neck on the line and they get murked and whatnot. And then their family got to grow up with nothing. And their family got to grow up just in mourning and whatnot. So how could you incentivize anybody to want to do anything for the people if there's no reward system whatsoever put into place to make it seem like you will be all right if you put your life on the line? There is none. You got people that have cured all kind of illnesses and sicknesses going into 40 years. They don't get rewarded. And then you motherfuckers will skip a nigga in front of the line because you know what I mean? Because, you know, y'all like these people, you know what I mean? And disregard everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So when the whole thing happened with Dr. Sebi, when he made his transition, the $1 million question is, why couldn't y'all reward Dr. Sebi when he was alive though? What was all of the fake love then? The fuck? He was out here pleading with the community to help build out Honduras and shit like that. And nobody was doing, they wasn't doing that with him. Nobody was helping him out like that. Niggas wasn't breaking bread. They felt that it was safe to dick ride when he was gone. Like they do with everybody else. Necromancy. They worship you when you dead. Like they do like they did Nipsey. Like they did Nipsey. They wasn't rocking with Nipsey like that. Niggas wasn't breaking bread with Nipsey. They wasn't running around buying out marathon clothing wasn't sold out for months when he was alive. They wasn't doing that. They wasn't doing that. I could name about 20 people who niggas was watching them struggle and whatnot. They wasn't doing nothing for nobody. They wasn't rewarding nobody for putting on until they died, bro. That's a problem to me. You think I'm gonna sit back and not say nothing and fake smile with you niggas? And I know that you niggas don't respect nobody. You don't value nobody. The second system is the value system. Where's the value at? Y'all valuing people who are not valuable over people who should be valued. There's no value system in this community. No value whatsoever. The only time a nigga will value you is if you on Breakfast Club or Adam 22. Then they start acting like you important. But like I told somebody yesterday, why the fuck would I want to be on the front line in these days and times with these sick ass niggas and this corny ass and this broken ass society? Why would I want my face to be on Adam 22? Why would the fuck would I want to be on Vlad TV? Why the hell would I want to be on a Breakfast Club? To be a target? Why? What's the joy in that? You niggas think that that's a come up. You think having your face, right, where you can't even walk in peace. You think fame is an aspiration, bro. You niggas really think chasing fame and being fucking known to whereas you can't even live in peace. You would hate somebody because you think they got more than you because they got more followers. Nigga, that's not a flex, bro. That's not a flex in these days and ages, my nigga. I'm trying to be unknown. I don't want niggas to be staring in my faces like that. Y'all value fame over value. You put fame over value. You don't value the people that are doing the work. You only dick ride when you think other people are catching on to them, or when you think that they lit. Oh, KT is lit. KT is interviewing a celebrity. Oh, KT is up. No, nigga, KT been up, you bird ass nigga. Fuck is you talking about? He was up the minute he opened his mouth. Where was you? Where was you? You know what I'm talking about? Where were you at? And for the record, when we called out Polite, you can ask anybody. When we went after that nigga, the whole community turned on us, even our friends. Okay? And then other niggas try to play neutral, and you know that there's no neutrality in war. That's for the record. The elders shitted on us. These bird ass niggas with platforms shitted on us. These fake ass friends shitted on us. You feel me? Everybody turned on us. So we went and got new friends. And now they want to be them niggas' friends. So that's for the record. No value. And then there's no penalty system. So people could do anything in this community and you won't be penalized. So for any type of community to function, you have to have a penalty system, meaning that if somebody steps on somebody's toes, if somebody crosses somebody, if somebody does somebody dirty and whatnot, then they have to be dealt with by said community. The gangs have that. It's called a DP. It's called a DP. When you slip up, you got to fight somebody. You got to throw hands with somebody. It's called a DP. Okay? It's called a DP. Right? If you in the streets and they say that you telling and whatnot, or you crossed your peoples, you was backdooring people, they'll pull up on you and they'll handle your business and whatnot. That's called the penalty system. That's the shit that keeps other people in line. Do you ever say thank you through the Cash App when somebody sends a Cash App? I definitely do. I definitely do. I click on the emoji that says thank you. You feel me? So the streets have a penalty system. The streets have a penalty system. And if you don't follow certain rules, it's not like it used to be, though. Let's just be clear. It's nowhere where it used to be when they had a functional penalty system. They don't have that right now, but they do have something. Okay? They do have some resemblance of a quote unquote discipline or a penalty system. If they got it to whereas in certain hoods, not in all hoods, in certain hoods, if they find out that you was messing with young girls, you would get stomped out. You would get the paws put on you. Okay, you would get violated. They would give you what is known as a wedgie, a nookie. You would get jumped. You could get stomped out. You get your chain popped. You feel me? That's what you're gonna get. Am I still doing a youth camp? Yes, I'm still doing a youth camp. That's coming up in July, and it's going to be called Kid Journey. It's going to be called Kid Journey, and it's going to focus on how these children could utilize these AI tools to get their shit up. You know what I mean? How they could use the AI tools to possibly make cartoons and possibly make comic books and possibly make the equivalent of short films. Okay. So that's coming up. That will be in July, and we will be we're gonna put that out there. It'll be available for children in real life, and it will be available for the children online. Okay. But back to what we were saying about these 3 rules that we need in this community. And to be honest with you, nobody is above reproach. No one is above reproach. Okay. And if you want to function as a community, those are the 3 things that you have to implement first and foremost before you start talking about a community. I didn't make that up. This is not how I feel. This is not any of these things. This is what it is. Because the way that this shit is functioning now, it cannot survive. It will not survive. All it will do is create some of the quote unquote dysfunctions that we see taking place every other month, right? They say Saturn is coming in a few days. So Saturn is coming in, and Saturn is about to wash a lot of people up. Okay. And we're going to sit back and we're going to watch the washing take place. Okay. And we're going to learn from what we see, because this is all about quote unquote, this is all about this, the cycle that we're in. I blocked the comment because people is out there throwing out motherfucking troll. They're lying. That's why. So you're not going to come in the comment section and start lying on people, and you're damn sure not going to start lying and saying that we knew about what Polite was out there doing. I don't do the fucking gossip. Okay? For the record, on a Sunday, I don't do the gossip. We're going to get this shit straight. We're going to get it straight. So when we called for the elders of the council of elders, they didn't answer us. When I just made the call in Atlanta after the sister got stabbed 17 times and nobody in Atlanta, niggas was scared and they didn't want to talk about it, I got on stage and I called for the council of elders, and I said that we need to have some type of elder council because we need some justice, because people are out here getting stabbed up, and there's people are out here. There's a lot of egregious things. I got a list of about 200 names that somebody sent me of people who are out here violating shit, right? And I made the call and I put my life on the line. You feel me? I put my life on the line and I made the call in front of the whole Atlanta community. Do you know what happened as a result of that? This was in June. This was June 1st. Do you know what happened? Nothing. Nothing but some death threats. Nothing but some death threats. Okay? And people saying, you know what, I'm inviting people to events. They're like, nah, Red, I can't, I'm not allowed to come to your events. I didn't do that for no smack. I didn't do that for no, I didn't even do that on camera. I didn't do that for nobody's approval, because, you know, what is that gonna do? You know what I'm talking about? What is that gonna do? You know? So when we bring these things up and when we speak on these things, and we need the community to come together so things could get done, the community is intimidated. The community is in fear. The community is scared. Okay? The community, they just want to dance. They don't want to deal with the real life shit. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep teaching. I'm going to keep pushing, right? And I'm going to keep holding up what needs to be held up at the end of the day. But when the community decides that they want to be a community, I'll be right there for them. You feel me? And in the meantime, between time, what we're watching and what was being shown to us is that if the gangbangers could put their differences to the side and come together and stop building, then we could do that as well. You feel me? And there's definitely people that need to be called out. There's definitely people that need to be called out. That's undeniable. You know, that's an undeniable truth. You feel me? It's an ugly truth. But the way that y'all do it from the comfort of your living room and whatnot, that's not the way that it gets done. You got to be outside. You got to be outside. You feel me? You got to be outside. You got to show up. You got to sit at that table and you got to let it be known what it is. And we've been making that call and we're going to still keep making that call. As a matter of fact, moving into July, we're supposed to have this meeting with a group of people who said that they want to deal with some type of solutions. But this is the age of accountability, and everybody got to come to the table at one point. This is the age of accountability. You feel me? So another thing that we've seen with this Kendrick situation that we are going to highlight is the fact that the conversation about drafts, sending our people to war, right? Sending the 18-year-olds to the 24-year-olds to war. This is a conversation that just started yesterday with this quote unquote approval of a draft, right? But if you talking about sending the children to war to die for Uncle Sam, but you're not encouraging these children in the streets to stand up for something and to be able to patrol their own community or be able to pick up weapons and whatnot and hold it down the same way that they're going to pick up weapons and hold it down against Russia or China and whatnot, or North Korea, that shit sounds crazy to me. Yeah, people could turn their nose up to the situation that they see taking place with the hoods and whatnot, because like I say, it's low-hanging fruit. It's easy to say gangbangers are a piece of shit. Gangbangers are this. Look, gangbangers are violent. Gangbangers are abusive. Gangbangers are toxic. Gangbangers are killers. Gangbangers have done wrong in their community since they started gangbanging, right? Is there a way that gangbangers can change? Look, you would have to tell me. You feel me? I have no idea. But what I do know is that in these communities, there are people who used to be gangbangers, right? In these communities, there are people who used to be quote unquote in the streets. In these communities and in these organizations like the NOI, like the Hebrew Israelites and whatnot, like the Morris Science Temple of America, they got gangbangers, but they not gangbanging no more. They're not gangbanging anymore. They're finding new quote unquote routes. They're finding new purposes and whatnot. But when you look at it, we don't have a front line like that. We don't have the only front line that I really could think of when I really sit down and think about it. You know, the people that are going to be active, that you don't have to necessarily train on how to be warriors and whatnot, that might be the gangbangers. So somebody or somebodies are going to have to come along and fashion those gangbangers or mold those gangbangers into what? Into more productive warriors, right? Find out what the NOI was using instead of banging on the NOI. find out what the NOI was doing in order to push certain things in certain directions, right? Or the FOI for that matter, the Fruit of Islam. Find out what are some of the quote unquote tenets that these people are using. You feel me? What are they using? What's some of the quote unquote commandments? What are some of the quote unquote, regiment that these people are using to turn some of our brothers and sisters into, I would just say, viable citizens? You know what I mean? Because what they're doing now is they're able to help other people by utilizing their story. Okay. Now you living off of experience, and you could tell one of these young kids in the hood that a lot of niggas is scared to talk to. You could sit down and talk to them and be like, I was right where you was at, fam. I was literally right where you was at. So I understand what you're going through, but here I am 20 years later with an experience that can help you get off of this path before it's too late. Because everybody can't bounce back from the shit that the hood or the streets is out here giving them. You know what I mean? You could be like, you fuck around, you could be like Fulio. There is no second chances. There is no second chances to that. When you get your shit pushed back, it's pushed back forever. So the Crips originally stand for Community Revolutionaries in Progress. The Bloods originally stand for Brotherly Love, Overriding Oppression and Destruction, right? Nipsey Hussle understood the meaning. Tupac Shakur understood the meaning and whatnot. There's a lot of people who are in these, around these gangs or amongst these quote unquote street organizations, and they understand the original purpose, right? The same way the parable about Jesus, and not to say anybody is Jesus, but we talking about Christ consciousness, right? So if we talking about Christ consciousness, we're talking about when you listen to the parable about Jesus, the Christ, he was amongst the killers, he was amongst the thieves, he was amongst the quote unquote prostitutes, he was in what they call the trenches, y'all. He wasn't outside with niggas with painted toenails and whatnot, and he wasn't outside quote unquote, amongst the elites and whatnot. He wasn't at the Paris fashion show. You feel me? He was in the trenches. So there's something about the trenches. There's something about the mud. There's something about this mycelium network, right? The underworld and whatnot, where individuals such as Kendrick and Nipsey and others who were sacrificed and whatnot, they attempted to do what no one man can do. This is not easy work. This is not easy work. This is work that a lot of people run from. The shit hasn't been, the work hasn't been done because a lot of motherfuckers is like, nah, I'm good on that. I'm not doing that. I got better things to do. Like count this money. I'm not doing that. I'm not risking my health. I'm not risking my wealth. I'm not risking my peace to be with these fucking knuckle draggers, because these are not some easy people. These are some hard-headed, dark spirited individuals that they're dealing with. It's an army. I didn't say anything else but it's a standing army. And inside of your army, the army is not filled with righteous people. It's not filled with righteous people. It's not filled with people who are considered to be morally just. It's not what an army consists of. But what it does consist of, it consists of disciplined, right? Warriors. Okay? When you go to cities like Philadelphia, when you go to cities like Detroit, I'm talking about the hoods of these places. When you go to places like Cleveland, Ohio, when you go to Milwaukee, when you go to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Dallas and Houston, when you go to places where the warriors are bred, these are what this it's in the water. They're bred in these places. You understand? They're bred either by the conditions of these places or the simple fact that for thousands of years they've been giving you the same stock and pedigree of warriors. You understand? The athletically superior stock coming out of places like Florida and Georgia and Texas, they didn't start doing that because the NBA was founded. They were coming out of those places before Europeans even found them. You feel me? They were coming out of those places before the Europeans even stumbled upon them and started writing about them in their quote unquote diaries. They were breeding those type of peoples from the gates. You feel me? So this is not something that comes out of nowhere. Our people been coming off of these lands with that type of spirit and whatnot. So so in places like Texas, they got the NFL, they got the NBA. They take that energy and they take that warrior spirit and they take that pedigree and that stock and they put them in controlled environments where they make money off of them to the tune of billions of dollars. Right? And when you look at the roles and whatnot for some of the people that they have signed up to the armed services and the armed forces, where do they come out of? Texas. They come out of where the warriors come out of. They come out of New Orleans, Louisiana. They come out of the Carolinas. They come out of Georgia. They come out of Texas. And they come out the West Coast because keep in mind, the European always feared the warriors from the West Coast. You understand? They always feared the warriors coming out of the West Coast because the West Coast gave them the most resistance when they were going up against them, when they were going to war. It was the West Coast that was washing them, okay? Whether it was the Mexicans or it was the melanated warriors on the West Coast, they had control of the horses. They was riding with the buffaloes. So they did that in Texas. They had the most they had the most resistance coming out of the quote unquote Gullah Geechee Nation. They had the Seminole Wars that they got their ass kicked 3 times. They got beat by the quote unquote Gullah Geechee. They got beat on the West Coast. So all of these places where they got the resistance from, that's where the warriors are still at. Okay. And they're tainted at this point. They're all imperfect, every single one of them. So to approach them with these modern day values and this morality that people are, walking with and whatnot, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. I can't do that. And I won't do that. You feel me? These people are flawed, but they are warrior class. And we at war. So you got to make the decision. You have to make some type of decision as to what is it going to be. Are these people going to fight with you or are you going to fight against these people? Is this going to be your mercenary, your standing army? Or are you going to, are you going to shun everybody because they don't fit into that perfect pocket of what they told you in society black men supposed to be? Black women too, because these gangs got women all up and down them and whatnot, and we know that these women are morally corrupt. We know that these women may be morally corrupt, but are we going to throw them away? Are we going to condemn them to death and destruction? Because when we turn our backs on them and when we throw them away, it's almost as good as to say that these people can die for all I care. I don't care about them. I could have came on this show laughing about Fulio acting all bougie and whatnot, like I'm better than this nigga, and his fate is something that, you know, has nothing to do with anything that I know about. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I would say for the Fulios of the world and for the Little Jeffs of the world and whatnot, they just died too young. You know what I'm talking about? Because the people that I grew up with, they was knuckleheads coming up as teenagers. They didn't have their head screwed on. They didn't have their head screwed on and whatnot. They was pure knuckleheads. And they was out here doing pure wickedness. Shit, I was wicked as a youth. You know what I'm talking about? I had wicked ways as a youth. So if I was thrown away, if people gave up on me and threw and turned their backs on me, where would I be? Where would I be? I wouldn't have anything to add. I wouldn't have anything to give society. I would be at war with society, because once society treats you like a throwaway, then you're gonna act accordingly. Do you know what it feels like to be shunned? Do you know what it feels like to be fucking spat upon? Do you know what it feels like? Some people will never know what that feels like. But we have a whole generations upon generations where these quote unquote youth, right? Not just the youth, but these olders and these elders, people who are touching 50, 60 and whatnot. Yeah. These niggas need to be fixed. You know what I'm talking about? They need some fixing and whatnot. And it ain't enough to just sit back and watch shit happen. You got to be active. You got to be active. So when I'm outside, yeah, I'm outside. I'm outside with the, you know what I mean? Like the killers. I know the killers. I know the bangers. You know what I mean? I know all of them. And you got to live and be an example so you could show these people that there's another way. So what does Kendrick come ahead and do? As a person who you would think as a superstar, as a megastar, he would never go back to the hood. He would never tap back into the hood. He would never, quote unquote, you know, reach back to the hood and whatnot, because why would it? Well, he doesn't have to. He's what they consider the superstar. You know what I mean? The kids in the hood and whatnot, or the gangbangers and all of these niggas, they wouldn't fault him if he said, you know what, I seen what y'all did to Nipsey. I'm not about to come back and fuck with y'all. I ain't about to, you know what I mean? I'm not about to do none of that. But he didn't do that. He came back. And by him coming back, as you can see, when you saw the video where people are talking about how he inspired them on Juneteenth, where there's people from LA who are a part of that culture. Remember, we are not a part of gang culture. I went to LA recently. I did a live in the airport, and I said I'm disgusted as to what I'm seeing. Right? I'm disgusted because I was in LA and I saw what was taking place with the gangs. I was in the wholesale district. I was in Koreatown. I was in DTLA, and I walked on Skid Row. And I was like, there's something going on in Los Angeles that needs to change, because this wasn't the Los Angeles that I was in when they buried Nipsey and whatnot. This wasn't the Los Angeles from 2019 where the gangs made a promise that they were not going to be banging on each other and that they was going to, quote unquote, move righteously and whatnot in the spirit of Nipsey Hussle. That wasn't what I saw. That is not what I saw. I was like, yo, I saw the Mexicans showing way more unity than I saw our people, right? And I also said, how the hell is LA the home of film and art and fashion, but nobody is getting no money? Because you can't get money in Los Angeles if you are at war with your brother. It's not good for business. Nobody wants to shop with you niggas. Nobody wants to break bread with black people in LA if they related to gangs like that. Only the gangs are going to break bread with the gangs. But when I went to the wholesale district, the Mexicans was getting a lot of money. And nobody, I repeat, nobody was looking over their shoulders thinking that another Mexican was gonna jump out and and handle another Mexican. No, it didn't feel like you could have got shot at the Mexican wholesale district. And then when I went on Melrose and other places, the unity that we needed to have, I didn't see it. So I'm like, this is a very wealthy state with a lot of possibilities and a lot of potential. But the only thing that's going to get melanated people back on board, getting bread again and living their life like they supposed to be is some level of peace. We're going to need some level of peace and understanding amongst these street organizations because the shit runs so deep. I was in LA. It's a micro. Look, I'm in LA. I only, like I said, I travel to many states, family. I travel to New York. My city, New York, is being torn apart by gang culture, fam. I don't know what you're talking about. New York is being torn apart by gang culture. Texas, shit, Atlanta. What are you talking about? That gang shit is everywhere. That gang shit is everywhere. So I'm talking about where it first started. We get into the root of things, because if you fix the root, you can fix the tree. It don't go the other way around. You can't be plucking the fruit and then thinking that that's going to change the tree. I'm talking about the roots of the tree is in LA, Los Angeles. And when I went out there, I saw the dysfunction in 4K. You understand? The majority of the people that I was talking to in Leimert, and not Leimert Park, because I went to Leimert Park in 2003 and had a spiritual awakening. Okay. When I went to Skid Row and I interviewed a majority of the people on Skid Row, these were gangbangers. These niggas was gangbangers. Okay. They're gangbangers. They was like, yo, I came home from the pen and my grandmother or my mom's and whatnot, I didn't have nowhere to go. So I went to Skid Row. You feel me? A large contingency of them. And I'm not talking about the ones selling drugs. I'm talking about the homeless people. It's living in a fucking tent city. These was either ex-gangbangers, because I don't know if there's such a thing as an ex-gangbanger. According to them, you can't be an ex-gangbanger. But these were bangers and whatnot, right? So when do you make the best out of a bad situation? You know what I'm talking about? When do you make the best out of the bad situation? No. Skid Row is next to wholesale. Skid Row is next to the wholesale district. Let's talk about that. Yes, somebody said the root is Chicago and the whole world has been influenced. Okay. You feel me? I could get with that. Right? So with Little Durk, and I don't know all of the politics that's going on in Chicago, but what I do know from what I was told by my OGs is that there's a revolution and there's a movement taking place where the brothers are trying to clean themselves up a bit, and they're trying to alleviate some of the carnage and some of the warfare by going towards Islam, right? Even though people have their hangups with what Islam represents and how it can help our people and whatnot. And I know some people that say, shit, the whole Islam shit is just another gang right now. You feel me? I know people that saying this Islam shit is just another gang. But once again, we have to give thanks to any time that the shift happens 1 degree. See, motherfuckers is from the comfort of their phones and the comfort of their homes and in the comfort of their safe spaces, throwing rocks and judging and whatnot. And they're not in the quote unquote streets. They're not putting their hands in the mud and whatnot. 1 degree 1 degree of change is better than no degrees. If the ship turns 1 degree, right, then that means that there's a shift taking place and it could possibly turn 180 degrees. But I'm here to highlight when the shift happens at 1%. At 1%. So the discipline that the NOI gives you, right? What is that? That is what everybody fucking needs. You have to have something that is greater than you. You have to have some form of discipline. I have on this title, When in Rome, Be Like Kendrick. So what was this quote unquote rap battle about? What was this whole thing against Drake about? It was bigger than Drake. Had nothing to do with Drake, to be honest with you. Drake represents an ideology. Drake represents a quote unquote, he is considered to be, he's an idea and a concept. The idea and the concept of Kendrick Lamar is centered in what? Discipline, mastery. Okay, you don't see him a lot. He's not chasing fame. He doesn't want to be seen like that. He's not chasing fame. He's not chasing the riches or the trappings of the world. He would be considered the opposite of that. In his message, outside of whatever y'all might try to paint on him, his message and what he professes and whatnot is taking care of his children, getting the fuck out of the way, laying low, working on your craft, working on your inner peace and whatnot. Is that not what the NOI is preaching? Is that not what the FOI is preaching? Is that not what they're trying to tell you to do with yourself, black man? To get up on your fucking knees? Huh? What is Drake telling you to do? Paint your nails, right? Get a BBL. Be outside all the time. Always be in the way. Chase fame. Chase fortune. Be drunk off of the trappings of the world. That's what he represents. That's what he represents. Okay? He represents sloppy shit like that. He represents no discipline. He represents lust, right? I'm running around with sexy red, right? It's not a disciplined man. You telling the way you encouraging the women to bust it wide open. That's not discipline. That's not self-mastery. You feel me? Bust it open for the one that loves you, of course. But you don't bust it open in front of a camera for a bunch of goddamn strangers to look at you. Bust it open. That will be called lust, family. And in lust, you don't have any power. Something is controlling you. Kendrick is teaching you about true spirituality, which is called detachment. Do you know that? Do you know that? Do you know that true spirituality is detaching from the shit that was attached to you? And the reason why your ass was in the fucking sunken place is because of your attachments. We are all works in progress. I am a work in progress. I am a work in progress. I am working on detachment on a daily basis. That's what Kendrick is about. That's what Kendrick Lamar's quote unquote, that's what his image, that's what his message is. And he says, I'm not your savior, but you could learn from me. You could learn from me. You could learn from my demonstration. You could learn from my walk and whatnot, but don't try to be like me. Be like yourself. And what is Drake telling people? Drake is telling people you could have sex with anybody. You could do whatever you want to do, and there's no repercussions. There's nothing that's going to come with it. Henceforth, why so many people are in such a bad shape. Henceforth, why Houston, Atlanta, Vegas has the most goddamn STD rates in the world. Right? That's what comes from following Drake, who's also in Houston right now. Right? And he's going to just help the STD explosion. That's the only thing that he has for you niggas is the STD motherfucking surge. Okay? And we talking syphilis, we talking shit that will burn your Johnson off. Right? That's what Sexy Red, and that's what that's Meg's home, right? That's Meg the Stallion's home. So these women are taking it beyond promiscuity. Where does all of this come from? And I don't want to sound quote unquote, it's a Sunday. I don't want to say, well, I'm gonna just cut it right to it. This outbreak that you're seeing is not just regular sex. Okay? It's not just regular sex. Right? This is not just regular sex. This is anal sex. This is people on a Hershey highway dipping into feces and whatnot, and that's where all of these diseases are coming from. Let's just keep it a buck. And then they're very promiscuous, and they're not responsible because, you know, they're not being taught how to be responsible with their yoni and whatnot. So they're doing shit like, you know, ATMs. You understand? And there's all of this oral cancer, and there's all of these STDs and chlamydia and whatnot. And that's coming from the fact that people are having sex like animals, right? They not just regular smacking bellies and whatnot. They're having very lustful, animalistic, bestiality type of shit that we don't co-sign. And nobody is going to get into your promiscuity or your proclivities. I'm not the proclivity police. I can't tell you how to swing your Johnson or what to do with your heaven's gates, right? But all I'm saying is that the influence of this music, the influence of this culture, the influence of the frequency, it has profound effects. It has profound effects. And there's a lot of 69 gods out here. It's not just the rappers. It's not just the rappers. And if you were to try to teach, you know, and kudos to all of the young gods that's practicing semen retention and shit like that. You know what I'm talking about? Salute to y'all. We see you. I'm here to let you know that is the path to enlightenment. That is the path to having that glow. That is the path to getting those downloads. That is the path to having to manifesting and magnetizing a queen to you. You feel me? Nobody is going to tell you that. They're going to say, yo, having a certain car or a certain watch or a certain designer drip and whatnot is what's going to magnetize a goddess to you. No, that's not what's going to bring a goddess to you. You have to practice some form of restraint, some form of restriction, and some form of quote unquote sacrifice. The attachments are real. I'm not just making this up. People are walking around super possessed, bro. People that I know and people that I don't know. But I'm not here to judge. We might be here to smudge, but I can't judge. I can't judge when so many people are under the spell. What do I sound like judging? So many people are under the spell. You got black women, they want some white wood right now because they watch Pornhub and they watch the white niggas lay it down. So I got black women saying to me, yo, I just want to try it out one time because the white boys look like they hammering shit and I want to get choked out and spit on. And then you got the black dudes, you know what I mean? They just want to try one time in their life and whatnot because they were denied it so much that they're like, you know what? I just want to see what the Becky Necky is about. You feel me? And all of these influences are coming from what we call porn culture, right? That nobody is real enough to talk about. You niggas talk about how real you keep it. Y'all niggas is not real enough to have these conversations, but this is Sacrilegious Sundays, and we talking about all things sacral. You know? We're talking about all things sacral, unapologetically and whatnot, and without any shame and without no judgment. This is a safe space. You know what I'm talking about? This is a safe space. You know? But we know what we're looking at. So you got places like Texas that are going super duper Christian conservative to where they're banning pornography and whatnot. You have Louisiana that's going super duper conservative, and you'll have other states that follow and whatnot. That is going to only exasperate when Donald Trump becomes the president. If he reaches the quote unquote finish line and he'll be elected and whatnot, if they don't lock him up in July. Now, if they lock him up in July, we're gonna have to live in a world where the possibility of a civil war is going to be more realer than it was prior. Prior was just a whisper, right? Now it'll be quote unquote more than just a whisper. It'll be a yell. It'll be a scream. It'll be a quote unquote a war cry. It will be a war cry. So melanated people are about to vote Christian nationalism into the quote unquote into the government. They're about to vote Christian nationalism into the thread of society. That is potentially going to cause all kind of separations. You know, it's just going to get ugly. Okay, it's just going to get ugly. Okay, because what was once taboo was basically given to us, right? It was thrown at us, right? The most popular section is interracial, right? Because that was the most taboo. Okay, you got black women that like to sit around and watch gay porn all day, right? Because y'all couldn't see niggas sleeping with each other. And I had a woman come on Black Magic 363, and she was like, yeah, I like to watch men dominate other men because I hate men, right? So this is like her entertainment. You feel me? This is her entertainment, watching traumatic sex, because that's all that is trauma bonding through trauma sex. You feel me? So these people have written out a 900-page manifesto, where they are getting ready for Donald Trump to come through and become the new president, and they are going to usher in a level of Christian nationalism that probably has never been seen in the Americas all the way back since they founded this piece of shit, right? So we got to be ready for that. We're not waiting for November to start talking about shit like this. This is what the When in Rome lecture is going to be about, right? As we prepare for the Jason months, as we prepare for the July, August, September, October, November cycle. It's going to be a crazy ass cycle. This is going to be a cycle that you've never seen. This is going to be a cycle that is going to shake the pillars of this quote unquote world, right? Because it's a global affair. Everybody's watching, right? And they're going to turn on the distractions in a way that you've never seen before. So we're getting our people properly prepared, because proper prevention prevents piss poor performance and whatnot. When people start getting, we just getting on. She said, I watch gay porn too. Yeah, how could you do that? How? I don't get it. Like, there's some shit that you can't unsee. You know what I'm talking about? I don't even like to watch two women scissoring. That's just, it's too much. But you know, whatever floats your boat. You know what I'm saying? Whatever floats your boat. You know, these men, I'm gonna just leave it at that. You know. So much finger pointing. And then those four fingers point back at you. You know what I'm talking about? It's a lot of shit that needs to be cleaned up. It's a lot of shit that needs to be cleaned up. You know what I'm talking about? It's a lot of things that need to be cleaned up. And I don't even know if our society is strong. We don't have leadership. So you got to literally do it on your own. So you're really on your own at the end of the day. Because unless you're in like the Nation of Islam, unless you're in one of these strict organizations that are like going to be, you know, pressing the issue, it's like you just got to wake up and do all of this shit on your own. And the way that these parasites are on our people, remember, we're talking about attachments, right? Attachments. If you're a man and you watching gay porn, you're gay. What are you talking about? Whatever man you know watching that, tell him that red pill say he's a fruit monger. What do you mean? The hell? That there's no quite there's you can't there is I don't know what new rules y'all done made up, but no. The attachments, the succubus, the incubus, the attachments, that's the shit that needs to be fire burned. The attachments, that's the shit that needs to be dealt with. Because if you got a society where everybody has attachments on them, you don't have a healthy society. You feel me? You don't have a healthy society because you're becoming what you despise the most. You lost your way. You're making excuses and you're coming up with these quote unquote, you know, justifications for just lust or lust demons. And, you know, as much as we talk down about certain organizations like the NOI, like the FOI and these things, these organizations, you know, they bring what black men and women need the most, and that's discipline. It's the discipline that we need somebody literally standing over us and keeping us in alignment until we could do it on our own, right? That's why even when people go to jail, they become better people. Some people, not all, because there's like 3 reasons why people get locked up. One of the reasons is because your spirit guides took you up out of the streets because you was about to get your shit pushed back. You just got saved by a higher power, and you're not realizing that your spiritual path is not gonna, they're not gonna pick you up and put you in Tulum or paradise. They're gonna pick you up and put you buried alive in a fucking jail cell. That's still spirituality. That's still the path. It's putting you in a zone where your ass ain't comfortable, because you can't grow if you comfortable. You cannot grow in your comfort zone. You have to be put in situations where your ass is being challenged. That is the path. That's called spirituality. Niggas have mixed up spirituality with a look. So they got the septum ring, or they got the dreads. The dudes got the locks, and they wearing sandals and shit. That's not spirituality, fam. You could be spiritual and have a hoodie on in 100-degree weather. You know what I'm talking about? That's still you. To be honest with you, that's like being in a sauna, right? There's a level of uncomfortability wearing a hoodie in a 100 degrees weather, but you still are sweating it out. You're still not in the comfort zone. That's growth. But when you put people in positions where they are outside of their comfort zone, and if you could make it through that, if you could push through that, if you could persevere through that, if you could see the light at the end of that tunnel, then you will come out of that tunnel a more enlightened person. You will come out of that tunnel with experiences that you could teach others. right? It's only the ones that run from the challenge. It's only the ones that run from the goddamn weights and whatnot. You in the gym and you running from the weights, you're not gonna grow. Where's your struggle at? Where's your resilience at? Where's your perseverance at? These are the questions that we got to start asking. Somebody said, what the sandals do? Salute to all of my sandal wearers with the open toe Birkenstocks. You feel me? Yes. You know what I mean? All I'm talking about is be as spiritual as you have to and have that look as well, but don't do it the other round where it's just a look but no work. It's just a look but no work. You just looking like you spiritual because there's a spiritual starter pack and whatnot, but you didn't do none of the work. You just put the makeup on. That's what I'm talking about. Do the work. Don't be afraid of doing the work. And you could only do the work on your own. Can't nobody do the work with you. Nobody could do the work with you. Being locked up, people are able to do shadow work. They're able to practice semen retention. They're able to work out. They're able to be celibate. I promote celibacy. Okay. I promote celibacy. I promote detachment. I pray that many of my brothers who are sick get some help. I pray that many of the women that I know who are sick get some help and get some healing and whatnot. That's what I'm here for. I hope that we could learn from them in their triumphant rather than their falls, because we've been learning from people's falls. I've sat back in this community and I've learned from the falls of other and whatnot. And what it taught me is, nigga, you better master your lower self, because all of these niggas is falling from their lower selves because they can't control that, because they don't have no mastery of they're being controlled by something else. They're being controlled by their lust. Their lust turned into a fucking demon, and that demon took them over. That's what I sat back and I looked at and I learned and whatnot. And what I also learned is being on the front lines or having your face or your name out there does not mean that you have the quote unquote the leeway to abuse your power, because I promise you, everybody who abuses their power is going to get their karma. Everybody is going to deal with their karma. You can't dodge it. So y'all don't worry. The universe, they got everybody's number and they card. You know what I'm talking about? Your hands, your mouth, and your eyes are going to tell on you. Press Sunday in the DM if y'all want this link for the upcoming lecture that we got on the 30th. If you think I'm preaching, I'm bringing Vicky on the show tomorrow, Melanin Mondays. We finna turn up. We finna turn up. We got some things that we want to talk about and whatnot. We about to turn up. But when in Rome, be like Kendrick. And what that means is you want to stand for some type of virtuosity. I'm not here to worship no man, but I see the virtuousness in him. I'm not here to worship no man, but I see the sacrifice in him. I'm not here to manage no man. I'm not here to worship no man, but I see the growth and development in an artist like Kendrick Lamar, right? I see his stage show. I respect the stage show because he's truly an artist, a master of ceremony. I see the growth and development in his character. I see the virtuosity and how he moves and whatnot. I appreciate the fact that he's out the way and not in the way. Things like that make me say, when in Rome, move like Kendrick. When in Rome, be like Kendrick. When in Rome, study that man and you may learn something, especially for the young gods out there and the young goddesses outside of hip hop or rap or a beef and whatnot. I ain't talking about that. I'm going deeper into that. I'm going deeper than that. I'm going past that. Okay? Carve your own path and do it where you don't have to follow the quote unquote everybody. You don't have to follow the bandwagon. You don't gotta follow the quote unquote what everyone is doing. That's not the way. That is not the way. That is not the way. Make your own way. Okay? Unapologetically. Just make your own way. And then others will conform to that way when you demonstrate that that is the way. That's how you do it. Okay? For my YouTube people, I just dropped the link, and you could also click on it. There's a live link in the description and whatnot. I'm going to this Juneteenth festival at Piedmont Park. If there's anybody in Atlanta who's looking for something to do today, that's going to be a beautiful demonstration. Okay, I look forward to seeing y'all. If you see me before I see you, you know, shoot me a salute and whatnot. And yeah, we gonna salute you. We should be performing as well. The lady told me in blue that we could perform, so we'll be on the second stage. This will be after 5 p.m. if you want to catch some of the 48 pillars of power on the stage and whatnot. So I hope I didn't ruffle anybody's feathers and whatnot. This was a sincere download on this Sacrilegious Sunday. You know what I mean? This comes from a place of love and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? And this also comes from a place of genuine care. I care for my people. I want to see us in a better place. I ain't gonna lie to you. The summer just started and I'm enthusiastic based off of the way that the summer started with a fucking concert on Amazon Prime. I'm lit. You know what I mean? I'm charged up. You feel me? But I don't get excited, or I don't lose focus, because all of that excitement could turn into joy and pain. All of that joy could turn into pain overnight. So I'm inspired. I'm inspired. You feel me? I'm going to use that inspiration to do better and to do more and to continue to push the line and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? And it is what it is. You know, everything is going according to plan. Everything is going according to plan. We are living in our dreams. We control the narrative. It doesn't control us. We control the narrative. It does not control us. I could say that with all confidence, with my chest out. I could easily get up here and say that in all confidence. We control the narrative. The narrative don't control us. The shit that I see taking place in the culture and around the world, these was conversations that me and Blue Pill was having on 125th Street with both Sinetta, Rich, and Knowledge to God, and Baba TV, going all the way back to goddamn 10 years ago. So things in hip hop is going to change for the better. We're going to will that into reality. Artists that need to be heard and seen, who have a positive, powerful, artistic message, like Rhapsody, like Lizzie Jeff, like Sa Rock, of course, like Soul Messiah, like Red and Blue, like Cambada. You know, there's a lot of people out here that need to be discovered and whatnot. We the new underground. We the new underground. And I'm cool with that. Like I said, I don't want to be popular. I don't want to be on a front street. I don't want to be on a front line like that. Y'all think that that's the way to go. That ain't the way to go. That's not, you know, I want the respect. I want the respect before anything. Because as you see with Kendrick Lamar, the respect is what started pushing the line. It was the respect. Yeah, Gray and Transley, Jack Holla, and Pooh. Even KT the Arch Degree got bars. You need to hear him. You feel me? But once again, the music business, the entertainment business, the culture that has a grip on the minds of the people is going to change for the better. We just got to keep pushing the line. It's us, not me. It's us that are helping to, quote unquote, make the pendulum swing. The more that we wake up and live in our truth, the more that we wake up and create constantly and put creation out there, the more that we wake up and we get more in touch with our higher selves and whatnot, then our reality will begin to change back into the reality where we're on top. it starts in your mind and in your heart. So I'm gonna just leave you with that. You know what I'm talking about? And I'll also leave you with our sponsor once again for the night. And that happens to be the Mart 125 with this Kendrick merch. So make sure y'all snatch up some teas and whatnot, because this is, these is fire. You know what I mean? These is fire. They was going crazy for these yesterday at the park. So, and we was with our sister America, and she was feeding the homeless and whatnot on Friday. So we was out there feeding the homeless and giving them "They Not Like Us" t-shirts and whatnot. And that's something I'm gonna do more of. You know what I mean? We just not gonna be doing it on film and whatnot because it's not a movie, but it feels good. It feels good. We was helping them pray. The majority of the people who we were feeding, they wanted prayer. They wanted somebody to help pray, because people are going through some shit right now. You know what I'm talking about? People are being challenged on levels that they've never even imagined and whatnot. But once again, the challenge is where the growth is. The challenge is where the greatness is. The challenge is how you know that you're great. There we go, right there. Feeding the homeless. It's in the challenge is where you rise to the occasion. So challenge me. You know what I'm talking about? To my spirit guides, continue to challenge me. Continue to put me into places where everything is being challenged, because I'm rising to the occasion. And I appreciate the lessons. You feel me? I really do. You know what I'm talking about? I really fucking do. You know what I'm talking about? So continue to challenge. Continue to be there for the challenge. Don't run from the challenge. I'm going to leave it with this.
One thing and one thing only that African people care about, including me myself. I come to your country. I don't care where it is. I am here to make money. That's just the sad reality. But it is the reality. Me as myself, when I went to Nairobi, when I lived in Kenya, I went to take. When I went to South Africa, I went to take. When I went to Dubai, I went to take. I did not go to build the countries, because in my country where I come from, I am poor, and I left my country because there is nothing for me to do. I didn't see any ways of getting rich in my country, so I decided to come to other countries to do something for myself. So unfortunately, I can't tell my African American brothers and sisters that when African people come to America, expect them to build with you. No, we're here to take. We are here to take. The American government, like right now, it's welcoming immigrants like nobody's business. Every African person who is in a dire situation or who sees there's an opportunity for me to get a green card, they would do whatever it takes to come to America, knowing very well that the government right now is prioritizing foreigners instead of its own people, which is not my fault. My own business is to come there and grab whatever I can. And if your government is supporting me to take as much as I can, who am I to refuse? Who doesn't want to live in America? So don't be surprised when you see these African men or African women get with older men or older women just to get the green card. That is what we do, because we are in a dire situation in our countries. So we are running away to come to your country so we can have a better life, because, I mean, who does not know about the American dream? And then if we come and then...
If we were to be mad at her, then we would have to be mad at what they sold them, which was the American dream, right? I cannot find a hateful negative thing to say about somebody who is being honest about what it really is. I can't summon that type of energy to be like, you know what, these tethers, they da 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 da. No, she kept it 100. She kept it real and just said what needed to be said about the mentality of people coming over here to fulfill what they was sold. They were sold a bill of goods called the American dream. They were sold the same thing that Tony Montana said. He said that the America was a big punani waiting to get smacked. Right? I'm using safe words, but he said that America was a big punani, and people that come over here, that's what they see it as. Even the white immigrants, the first band of migrants that came over on them stinking ass ships in the 1800s, right? And then the ones who came before them, they brought all of that disease over there, over here. That's the same thing that they were seeing. Is it a colonizer mind state? Yeah, to a degree, it is a colonizer mind state. Because if I were to say, I'm going to Africa, or I'm going to Jamaica, or I'm going to Tulum, I'm not going to take. I'm going to bring something to them. So ye are rich. You will know who you are based off of what you have to offer. So if I were to go to Africa, I'm going to Africa as a prize, nigga. I'm going to infuse whatever nation I'm in with the intellect and the opportunities and the quote unquote the gems that I have to offer. I'm going to give to that country. I'm not going to take. I don't have to take because I don't live in lack like that. That is not my mind state. My mind state is not one of lack. I don't look at myself as a melanated American as somebody that doesn't have. And I don't give a damn if it's if it's no, I could have been born in Africa. I don't know if I would have thought like that. But she was keeping it a buck. She was keeping it real. This is where you could find music. Is Black Cloud Entertainment or ent.bandzoogle for somebody that was asking earlier about the music. And this is for the t-shirts right here. The mark125.com is for the t-shirts and whatnot. So they are telling you that they are not like us. And yes, it is the transparency for me as well, but we have different mind states. We are not coming to take. We are coming to give. We are givers. That's just me. I'm a giver. I'm not going to go to Africa and take. I'm not going to Jamaica to take. I am not going to take. No. That's what Europeans do. They're fragmented. They are the have-nots. So they come to take. That is not what I'm here to do. Any land that I go to, anywhere where my passport gets stamped and whatnot, I understand the value that I'm bringing to those people with my presence, with my energy, with my light. That's why I do roll call, because I am of the understanding that we have power over the morphogenetic fields. We are electromagnetic. Wherever you put your feet, you charge that grid up. Wherever your body is at, you are going to charge that. You are going to change the frequency. Water rises to its highest levels. So once again, I was like, yo, I want to take a fact-finding mission around the world. I want to get up out of here for about 6 months, and I want to go on a fact-finding mission. You feel me? I want to go live and show people what it looks like. I want to go to certain countries. I want to go live. I want to just live stream. I want people in the States to see what's going on around the world, Africa, the Caribbean, South America, and maybe Asia. It depends. But that's on my mind right now. My spirit is pushing me to do something like that. You feel me? But when I go to those places, I'm going to go with the mind state of not a colonizer, but a collaborator. Not a colonizer, but a collaborator who has something to offer, who is going to leave wherever I come better than before when I got there. That's how I'm moving. I don't know about sister was just talking and whatnot, but she's talking from a place of lack. She's talking from a sister coming out of a shanty town. So I'm understanding, overstanding, understanding on the mentality, but no, no. We was raised to be rich minded as a people here. We were not raised like that. We didn't, when we came to the South from the North, we didn't come to Atlanta to take. You feel me? Or we did get our reparations though. I mean, right then Lenox Mall and then Phipps Plaza, nigga. We got our reparations, but we didn't come to take from the people in Atlanta. We came to sell them clothes for a half price sweater new. Yeah, I'm talking about. We brought them niggas a lot of shit for half price. in Atlanta before they got on to whatever they got on to. You know what I mean? We helped to get a lot of niggas jiggy out here for half price. So we not coming to take from our own. We coming to knock the colonizer over the head. I don't have no qualms about that. And you could judge me all you want, all of you evolved beings and whatnot. They love to judge me like I'm some damn savage or something. No, I come to knock the colonizer over the head. I'm not playing around. I'm not code switching. I'm not sitting with them. I'm not buying nothing from no colonizer for more than $4. Y'all out here letting white people sell you kale and whatnot and crystals and what. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. For real, for real. They don't even shop with you niggas. They don't even break bread with you. And y'all got them all up around you and whatnot. I'm not doing that. Y'all paying them thousands of dollars to go to their to go to their little conferences where they just out there cosplaying us. Really? Really? Yeah, stop falling for the okie doke. You know what I'm talking about? Ye are rich. Ye are rich. We have to see the wealth in us, and we have to stand on that, and we need to project that around the world. Because I'm gonna leave you with this. Even with the lowly standards that we put the gang members to, right? Even with the lowly standards that we look at the LA gang members, when people around the world respect, they're gonna approach them people with another level of respect now. Just because unity in it of itself is a superpower, it's something that you can't get our people to do just by snapping your fingers. It's one of the hardest things that you can do, is to bring melanated gods and messianic forces. We almost repel each other sometimes, but when we're in a healthy environment and when the vibe is right and the frequency is high, we're all magnetic. We all stick to each other. And people call it the dictionary term unity, but it's more than that. It's more than that. To me, I call it Voltron. But it's more than that. And Drake could never do that because of his principalities. So what you are seeing right now on different levels, not just with Kendrick, all of the K's, from Cat, Kyrie, Kendrick, you are seeing people tapping in to Christ consciousness. Because in Rome, when you're in Rome, in order to stand out and not be counted as a Roman, you're gonna have to go swim upstream. You're gonna have to move against everything that they told you. When they say to go left, you got to go right. There's a power in that. There's a power in not falling for the conformities of the trappings of society. There's a power in that. So once again, let's learn from what other people are showing us, because we're all in school. Because I'm not preaching to you. I'm learning the same way that you learning, but I'm able to articulate what I'm learning in real time. So with that being said, I'm going to leave you with this commercial, and we will see you on Melanin Mondays. And hopefully we will see you in class, right? For this lecture right here, When in Rome. Okay. Jason 24, red pill, blue pill, Vicky Dillard. That's only on Zoom. And that's June the 30th. And it will be filmed, and it will be available for the replay in case you can't make it or you can't sit through the whole class and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, that part.
Came in this business saying I was going to expose.
superpowers get neutralized like a homely watching silence. The front's honest we once knew was looking paranoid and now spiraling. You're moving just like a degenerate, heavy antique is feeling distasteful. I calculate you, not as calculated. How can we predict your angle? Fabricate stories on the family front, cause you heard Mr. Morale, a pathetic master manipulator. I can smell the lines on you now. You're not a rap artist, you're a scam artist with the hopes of being accepted. Tommy Hilfiger stood out for FUBU, never had been a collection. I make music that electrify, you make music that pacify. I could double down on that line, but spade is top. Random acts of kindness. Know you're a master manipulator and habitual liar too. But don't tell no lie about me, and I'm gonna tell truth about you.
On the labels, on private prisons.
But they didn't make you write those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't.
It's not just Diddy, it's like BlackRock and Vanguard. They actually own the music industry and control the music.
Wait. The investment houses of BlackRock and Vanguard, they own the music industry?
Absolutely. From Sony Music Group to they're the most invested in the music industry. They're the most through Viacom. They own BET, MTV, VH1. They're in control.
They not like us? You're 100% right. He's not like you. He's royalty. So to my boy Drake, I hope this reaches you. Remember, they are telling you very clearly, you are not like them. You are a Jewish man. Be proud, be loud, and stand up and be counted for who you truly are.
And your homeboy needs subpoena. They're predator moving flocks. That name gotta be registered and placed on neighborhood watch. I lean on you niggas like another line on. Yeah, it's all lies on me and I'ma send it up. Hey, put the wrong label on me, I might get them. Sweet chin music and I won't pass up. How many stocks do I really have a stock? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus. Tricky ass never did a freely app. Tricky ass niggas need to steady ass it. Yeah.